Well, seeing that the weather's been pretty poor this weekend, I thought I'd show you a fly that I use a lot on the rivers. It's a UV shrimp, but it's a mix that I get from the Czech Republic. Starting off with a hook, which is a troutwatch Czech nymph hook. 12 turns of fine wire lead. I do it in two. I either do it in 6 turns or 12 or none at all. So we've got the hook there, pre-leaded. So as we get stuck into it, right, using tan thread, just catching it at the head, and there's a reason for this, and then bring it back down. And what I'm going to do now is a bit of red fishing line. Doesn't really matter what you use. I use amnesia. Just figure of 8 turns over the top just to lock it in. Leave a bit of going at the sides. There's again a reason for that, which you'll see shortly. So you've tied that in, and then just take it up to the lead. Now you want to start matching the thickness to the lead as well, so doing like a cone effect, and then take it down the body, and you want to create a cone effect again at the end so you get the right shape for the shrimp. So we've got that in there now, and now what I'm going to do is, I like to use, it's a squirrel body, that just nip a bit out with your fingers and use that as a tail. Take the excess off, match it up, and then nip and pull tight. That's it, it stops it going anywhere, doesn't spin around the hook. Again, take it back down to the thing and bring it back up again. You usually come about halfway back up the body here. Get a bit of nylon. What I do is clear nylon, whether it be £5, and I bite the edges of the nylon. The reason I bite it between my teeth, it just makes it nice and flat. When you tie it in, it doesn't allow it to come back out again. So there you go, just bite the tips of it, and you can see when I put it on, there you go, it's just a little flat bit. That just stops it coming out. So take that down, go back up at the middle. You want a bit of bulk on the end of a shrimp anyway. Now, to use for the shellback, I always use the same colour, which is this pink one here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut that into a bit of a point. And the reason I use pink on everything is, obviously shrimp, it's got that pinky tint. So just cut it with a little bit of point, right on top, nip it with your thumb, and just catch it in a couple of times. Now as you start moving back down, stretch it and pull it. You don't want too much width on it, so there you go, take it back down to where the hair's ear is. And just keep them eyes in the right place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a touch of super glue on them. Just don't want them to move anymore now. So I've got them in place, just match them up properly, make sure they're sitting right. Now what I want to do is just check them, could do with a little trim on one side. These have got to be fairly even. And again, you'll see why in a minute. So I'll just try and take a bit off. This is about £30. It's pretty hard to cut with these, so I shouldn't be doing it really. Never mind. That should do it there. Right, what I'm going to do now is start dubbing it. So I'll pull them out of the way. But before that, watch this. That's why you needed excess. And it's a little burner that you get for using shrink tubing. So just fire it down. What you do is create 2 lovely eyes on it. Up again, do that one a bit more. There you go. 2 lovely eyes. Just move them into place. There you go, absolutely perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this dubbing that I get from the Czech Republic from my mate Yuri. It's hazier, but it's got a bit of UV and got a bit of pearl in it. It's absolutely brilliant. I use it for a lot of flies. There you can see the flecks in it. So, which reminds me, I'll have to ask him for some more. So just dub that on nicely. Quite bulky actually. And the day it's a shrimp pan. There you go, just start working it up the body now. Take it right up to the head. It doesn't have to be too neat, you're gonna rive a lot of this out. So what we'll do now is we'll pull the shell back over. And that pink just gives it that little hint, you can just see the change in colour of it there. You want to stretch this. It often slips to one side. Get it about right, bring the thread around, pull it tight, and that's it. Take it around, keep the tension on your thread 2-3 times. And what you want to do now is you want to pull that back and just go over it 2 or 3 more times just to lock it in. Pull it to tension and snip with your scissors. You get a nice clean finish on it there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the nylon. We're going to rib it with this. Now as you put it through underneath, you need to give it a bit of a wiggle just to get it through the fibres. Pull really tight on it. It just creates them segments. Some of the UV, it really starts to stand out now. With a wiggle there. You can see you want these segments, you want the strands of hairs here and UV to come through. Just make sure, get it in there. A couple of turns of thread. There you go. That's tight enough. Just snip that off. A half hitch just to keep everything locked in. What we're on now is just a tiny bit more dubbing. And it just hides that head a little bit, just nice. And what we'll do, we're hitting with finish. Use this a lot on my flies. And just covering all the head that I've bulked up. Got one more, just tie it all in. That should be it. Put the scissors in the loop, pull tight. That's it. Snip off. Make sure my eyes are right. Still looking a bit raggy, but yeah, wouldn't worry too much about it. Use this needle and just pick out the threads in between the nylon. Once I've picked them out, I'm going to use the wire brush on it and absolutely rive the lengths out there. You know, give it a good scrub. Just pulling all the fibres out, brush them back slightly. There you go. Put super glue on the head. Then use super glue more to do varnish. And that is basically the finished article. Got the right profile, lovely red eyes on it. You can see the UV and the pearl coming out in it now. When it's wet, it looks absolutely stunning. So there you go. Hope it catches as many fish as I've caught on it.